Hey, welcome to KMS Brews episode 14. It's been a while, but we're back, baby. Yeah. So I got Minifan Kim Jong-un, Inspector J, the Shankster, and Kirk's desk. I'm Cameo Blind Mike. What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Hey, boys.
What's up? It's been so long.
Hey, Happy New Year.
People didn't want to listen to us, so.
And nobody cares. Yeah, they're all shitting on. No. The best show on YouTube right now, All in the Minute Family. Love them, but we're better, right?
Yeah. It's good to get
There's some
Shank out of
cancel
jail after
culture
that
out there.
So, guys, what are we drinking? I'm going to start with Minifan Kim Jong-un because I'm very jealous of this beer.
Oh no, I was drinking Hetty beforehand. I just finished it for the show.
I don't pay attention to you.
But I was drinking Hetty. I love Hetty. Hetty's being distributed more and more in Massachusetts, so it's a lot easier to get. But for the show, I decided I was going to drink one of my favorites from Maine, Foundation Afterglow. I love Foundation. It is one of those beers that you can find Foundation pretty much at every liquor store in Massachusetts at this point. They distribute just like Austin Street and a lot of the other ones from Maine down here, and I love it. It's one of my favorite IPAs from them. So that's it.
They used to have when they first opened. I don't know if we've mentioned this before. When they first opened, they were a saison brewery and all Belgian stuff. And they the beers that they made initially were they had their base saison, and they would infuse it with different herbs or fruits. And there'll be really small batches, and you'd be able to get that in growlers. They were so great. So every year, I tweet to them like, you're gonna bring those back, and I haven't heard anything back from them in years for that. But those were the days. Those were the days when they first started. They were all saisons.
Your favorite brewery, Trillium, did that too at the beginning. They did it.
Yeah.
I mean, they put it in my tea house. They did it.
Jesus!
Sour and the rest of them. They started.
I was gonna say that the breweries that start off with Belgians and stuff like that seem to be the best breweries in the world, like a Trillium or Foundation.
They realize that they go into better beers. They leave the saisons and they go into IPAs.
Once you can perfect that, I mean, you can do anything.
It's true. Saisons are tough.
So, Desk guy, what are you drinking that you were talking?
I'm about to open Saison Hapu from Austin Street. So this is from 2015. This is their saison that is with Sriracha Ace hops, which I've said in the past is my favorite hop. So I'm gonna try to open it right now, and we'll see if that actually kind of explodes on me. And it doesn't actually, which is amazing.
Are those were known to explode, or just?
No, just a little bit of carb. So it hasn't been that cold, so I thought it was just going to explode on me with a little bit of the bread in it. I just love Sriracha because it has the lemon nose to it. As a desk, I do like lemon pledge. So this, I think that's probably why.
I have to send you some of those hops so you can just have near your bed to sniff before you sleep. Get in the fetal positions.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Nice. So Shank, what do you got, man?
I got Blizzard 78 from Wormtown out in Worcester. Really nice English mild. You get some really good coffee notes. It's a relatively light brown ale. Really, really nice beer on a cold day like today. Highly recommend it.
I love that beer. Jay, what do you got?
Who was around for the Blizzard? You guys weren't born, right?
No.
-4.
I was around, but not in Massachusetts.
Yeah. How was it, Jay? I mean, I hear stories from family.
Well, I didn't live in the Boston area, but yeah, it was bad.
Oh.
There were people being rescued, on the highway on 128 and snowmobiles and shit. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm going local, Jack's Abbey, Hoponius Union. What is it?
Very
IPL,
nice.
I guess.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it's an IPL. So
yeah. So I was loving the discounted Copper Legend still, but that finally ran out. Those very affordable 12 packs that were left over. So
I think they were about $6 at this point.
I fucking love it when that happens. I love it.
I didn't buy enough because I went back and it's all gone. So
yeah, so I have a Monkeys on a Typewriter by Buttonwoods. It's their smoked sour. It's a Lichtenhainer. It's pretty much, yeah, it's different. I wouldn't, if you're not into craft or into sours at all, I would not recommend it. I mean, it's good. I wouldn't drink a ton of it, but
They're also
kinda
probably
like-
not watching the show.
yeah, but it's definitely you get the smoked malt, and then it's got like pretty much just all sour lemon. So it's different. I wouldn't say it's my favorite I've had by them, but I love that they try different stuff. That's one of my things about Buttonwoods and Cranston. They just try anything, and that's fucking cool that they did this. So smoked sour, different.
Yeah, gotta like that.
It has a different color too.
Yeah, it's kind of it's pretty much just like a lemon, little hazy, not clear, but I like it too.
What's the percent?
Yeah, so
on, what is it? What's the percent on that?
That's 5. I think it's 5.5. Yeah, so we want to jump into a KMS topic. We're all talking about, actually we're going to do our top 3, the second chair with Kirk. But I think we're going to, who's your least favorite in that second chair? The least person, like obviously they've had a few, right? They got Mike on Monday, they got Carabas on Thursday, Friday now. So what do you guys like? Who wants to start? I'm sorry, who do you hate? Who wants to start?
Well, I think the shows with just Steve being on there, I think have definitely been a bit of the the weakest. Going from a lot of election talk to the new year, and Steve admitted the other day that he's checked out. So I think it's pretty obvious that those shows have been the weakest at this point.
Yeah. Gonna be my hate you, but Kim, we go to the opposite. I wonder who you were going to pick. Go ahead.
It's Mike. I mean, it's always Mike. My bold prediction for this year was going to be that he was going to be better, not being a full-time employee for KMS. I think he has been a little bit better, but he's also he has this bitterness to him now. It comes out about Dave. It comes out about the show. He said on one, I think it was last week or the week before. Oh, I missed that. You can tell he doesn't listen anymore. He's bitter about a ton of stuff. I mean, he's that what was me attitude, that bitchy little, everyone's out to get me and I'm in a bad situation. I mean, I'm so sick of that with him. I'm so sick of that attitude. And this past week, I know the sound quality wasn't great and there's a little bit of a delay with Mike compared to the guys because they were doing it on StreamYard, obviously. So it just, I don't know. It just Mike seems to not be with it. I know he's doing his own thing, and I've caught some stuff on his Patreon just from discussions, and it sounds like it's awful. So good for Mike. But I just can't stand him. I mean, he's just lazy. He's woe is me. He's such a baby. Like I can totally see why Portnoy didn't bring him to New York. I can see why Portnoy hates him. I don't know. I think the Bagger Carcass show was better than Monday's show with Steve, and I just think that Steve does a better job than him. And obviously, I've been the biggest Jared fanboys from the beginning. I wish that he was on every single day with the show. Going to 3 days has been tough for me because I miss being able to listen to the show every single day. But I don't know. Mike sucks. I mean, he's horrible. I mean, he just doesn't bring anything. I don't understand why everyone likes him. Everyone remembers from 2019 the shows from like October to Madawaska where Mike actually contributed and had something. It was such a short period of time. He sucked before that, then he sucked after. So he was good from October into January, and everyone pretends like he was the greatest host in the world. He had a few months that he was good, and then he sucked again. And then he was really bad. I mean, awful bad after Madawaska. Then he got a little bit better, and then he just got awful over the summer and just like bitched all the time. It sucks. And it drives me nuts on Discord when Robot and all these people are just defending him. Oh, Mike, the show was so much better. No, everyone, that's the same thing with Cully. Cully was fun, whatever. You just remember these things like, oh, we had this great topic. Oh, the Rich Mandarin thing. Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, it was one segment. He had a couple good months. Mike sucks. End of story. Thank you.
Well, we know where we.
Do we have is there a way we can mute him? I know he's running the show, but
all right. I knew that was going to happen.
The diatribe. Yeah.
So Desk, what do you think?
I
Now to your
this is
bottle there,
I
Desk.
Huh? I'm just a little bit excited right
Shooting
now.
out
So.
your
I don't know if Tim saw that when he was ranting.
Calm me down, actually.
No, he was in his own world there.
Yeah, I would say that I'd want to say that I think that the Steve and the Kirk shows are the least enjoyable. But like I say, I think they're all very enjoyable. I would say that though I listened to Blind Mike's first Patreon, that was the free one, and just that same woe is me, just like, I mean, I understand, kind of I think where he's coming from and stuff, but it is sometimes it just gets kind of it's just unbearable. But I do think he's done a lot better. I think he's done better since he's been back. I think Carabas is great. Kirk and Carabas together, and just Carabas on his own show, Section 10, I've tried to listen to and I haven't really enjoyed it, but with Carabas and Kirk, I really enjoyed it a lot. I don't think I want him 5 days a week. I think I like splitting it up. I think it's really made it kind of enjoyable. And just that Kirk and Steve driving around, I really like that episode. So it's hard for me to say which one I like the least. I think just when you have two people, you're just not going to get as much banter. So maybe I would say that, but it's not that they're bad shows by any means. So.
Right.
No, yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Jay, you have anything else to add? Anything different?
I'm just trying to think if we're forgetting anybody, other than regular rotations. Has there been?
There hasn't been a ton of people. I mean,
really good. Quantum Week
so
Chris.
Yeah, I didn't like Quantum Week Chris.
All right, yeah. So
Tim and Steve were fucking hilarious. I mean, you couldn't do it all the time, but they were fucking great.
Yeah, so I would QW Chris is the worst. I'm not a Mike hater.
Him.
Yeah, no, it's just he didn't really bring anything. And I also felt like Carreno criticizing Carabas as no talent was pretty fucked up. So I definitely don't care for his input. Ryan Whitney I liked, but I wouldn't have him on a regular basis.
He's cool for like.
I'm not a Mike hater. Mike makes Kirk laugh, and I always come back to that. What makes Kirk laugh is what he's going to do. So I'm not a Mike hater. I'm not a Mike lover. He kind of is what he is. I like the stories about the neighbor with the packages and shit like that. That makes me laugh. So, Carabas, he's kind of the lovable dummy. He didn't know Nancy Pelosi's name the other day. It's just, how can you not Pilates? He called her something. I'm like, how the fuck can you not know her name? So he's sort of
he's like an intellectual bro. That's what he is.
Yeah, and the Saugus connection, the Kowloon connection. I'm sure Steve never thought, oh, geez, the Kowloon would follow me from Howie Carr to the Kirk Minahan show, and that makes me laugh. So, that's all I have.
Yeah, so I'll go on a little bit off here. First minute, Kim, if you want me to get Jared's asshole with the Kowloon and the fried haddock, if you want to eat that out, like I'll send him over to your house. But no, but Mike started off his Patreon saying, "Hey, you're gonna hate this. Don't subscribe. If you don't like me now, fuck that." It's like, dude, come on, like really. But some of his other stuff has been really good. But yeah, I would say I like Quantum Week Chris. Like, it was a good show, but you could tell like it was his first one. But Carano, we really didn't talk about him until Jay said it. He's got to be the worst. It's not. I like the guy. Like, his song "Rape" is probably one of the best parody songs, etc. But he just doesn't do it for me when he's producing. He really doesn't. Kirk can make anybody, but it's just not as enjoyable to me.
See, I think Carano has the same issue that Steve has sometimes. The original episodes of Carano filled in, where he was a little nervous and wasn't trying to do a Carano character, he was better. Like, when he was just being himself in talking, just like when Steve turned it on a little too much with the bag of carcass, but when they were bullshitting in the car, you saw the real Steve like mixed in with that character Steve. And my suggestion to both Carano and to Steve would be like, don't play the character, like don't play the Steve character, don't play the Carano character, be yourself, and people will like you more. Like I think that's part of it. But to the parody song thing, I want to say one thing. Steve the Liar Guy is on the biggest fucking slump in the world. Like, I'm sorry, like I have to say this because like everyone's like sucking his balls still. Like that song at the VFW show wasn't very good. His song,
No, that song was good. That song was
I
great.
disagree.
Rock opera,
great.
rock opera songs have been
Rock
1,000
opera's
times
great.
better, and Steve hasn't played them. It drives me insane. Like he played a few of them, but like there was a Christmas one he didn't play. Like there's people out there that I know because they've sent me stuff, and they like, hey, what do you think? 1,000 times better than what Steve a Liar Guy is putting out there. I think that has to do with the fact that Steve doesn't know a lot about music. He doesn't care about music, so he just kind of does whatever.
Shit about music.
But Steve the Liar Guy's songs have not been great, and I loved his songs. But to me, it's still the Bends or the best one ever. But outside of that, I mean, it's been a while since Steve the Liar Guy or Carano or anybody else for that matter has done a good one outside of rock opera.
Dude, I know this was a year ago, but Big Steve's Bed and Breakfast. What a fucking classic! I mean, that was
I know, that's
great.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, but how long was that?
That was a year ago, but still, it's like, I mean, I thought the VFW one was fucking awesome. I don't know if anybody else.
I love that. But I think with him, he's able to turn around a song in a day. So when you have that a quantity like that, not everything is going to be a blockbuster. Not everything is going to be a home run. Some are going to be better than others. But I just think his ability to be able to turn around a song as quickly as he does is just unbelievable. And even a song that may not be a classic is still pretty good considering, it was something that was just talked about on the show the other day.
Yeah, and I'm not taking away from rock opera or any of the other.
Right,
I think rock
right, of
opera is
course.
fucking awesome. But he's just like Kirk said, he just has that. He just has it. Like whenever he comes on, they're gonna play it. Obviously, he's gonna have some fucking stinkers. It just is what it is, and they're never terrible. But
he was on such a heater, though. He was on such a heater back.
He
like
was.
the one about his roommate. I can't even pronounce his name. Like that was. I died laughing during that. Like, there's a few songs from in the car. Before COVID, I used to listen to the podcast always in my car. Steve Murdered Me and that one. I was laughing, out loud, really laughing, like, oh my God, this is fucking hysterical. But I just feel like every single time I listen to him now, I'm like, like I don't even get like a chuckle out of them.
Well, yeah, this newest song was not great, but let's give him a chance, But
I'm not saying we get rid of him.
I mean,
I'm saying,
hey, if you can do better, Kim, fucking go for it. That's how I look at it.
If I never said I could, but I will stick up for people that can do better, like rock opera, who doesn't get his fucking songs on.
So why does he put him on?
Well,
songs are good. I mean, I've never heard of him before.
So
the problem is you said Steve shit and he doesn't play it. I've gone through it myself, and I'm not saying it was good or great. I sent him like a little hit the post thing for whatever the Steve and Kirk morning show was, and he never played it. Do I know if he ever even listened to the fucking thing? So it's a lot of work and a lot of effort, and if it doesn't make the air, you gotta, hey, screw it. Why should I bother? So that's how I look at it. No, I couldn't do a song. But if you submit shit and you don't even get a response to say, hey, thanks, but it's not going to make the cut, at least okay, fine, it's not going to make the cut, but it goes into this black hole, and you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to bust my ass to try to contribute, and you don't know what happens to it. So I think Steve's just too super busy. Every intern they hire, no disrespect to Big Justin or whatever, they don't they don't seem to be great hires. They're not that organized. So I think there's a lot of stuff that falls by the wayside.
Sure. It's been a while since we've been on, but Inspector J, to your point to that episode, the 1984 episode where we just did the songs and did the intros hitting the post was my favorite episode of this year. And maybe it's because of my age that like I grew up listening to those songs, like like driving in the backseat of my parents' car. I loved that episode, absolutely loved it. And everybody around the same age, like 32 and above, and like Discord loved that episode. But then I went on Twitter. I saw the younger people, they fucking hated that episode. And I thought that was like the best episode of the year. I'm curious what you guys think about that.
I love it. I mean, I'm 31. So some of the songs are a little bit before my time, but I thought it was a lot of fun. And it's an episode that you can go back and listen to whenever, because there's nothing necessarily topical about it, so it'll have a long shelf life. And it was different. I really enjoyed it, and I wouldn't hate if Kirk did something like that again in the future.
Sure, I thought it was okay. I mean, I kind of fast forward, looked at the his content more. I mean, I've heard those songs 1,000 times. With my parents, I have older brother and sister. I mean, so it's like, okay, I can listen to that whenever I want. But it was fun.
The references were hysterical. The Challenger references made me laugh. I know it's dark, but it really did make me laugh.
Well, I was a DJ in 1984. I didn't play that type of music. It was more like, Kenny Rogers and some other bullshit, but
sorry.
Okay. I know what it's like to hit the post. No, but we were all in Discord that morning, and I was trying to catch up, so I was fast forwarding to get to where Kim was saying, like, "Oh yeah, I remember this song," or we were all trying to guess the name of the song, or "Oh yeah, Wang Chung sucks," or he said something like, "Oh, this band's gonna be around for a long time," and then when he gets to Springsteen, he's like, "This guy blows," or whatever. So, yeah, I thought it was a great episode. I didn't see too much negativity. Again, he clearly loves doing it. He went back to whatever, he was 12 years old or 12 something street in Billerica, reading the Billboard magazine. So yeah, if it's fun for him, he's gonna do it. I didn't see a lot of negativity. I could see him doing that episode, 3-4 times a year. I think people would enjoy it.
For sure. So let's move back to beer. We've been doing this for like 15 minutes. So One Industrial Way, is that what it is, in Portland, Maine? There's a little brewery called Austin Street, and I know Kirk's desk has a story about it. And I wanted him to kind of tell it. So what happened, Desk? You're going to be a part of this brewery possibly, or have a stake?
No. Well, when he was still home brewing, I used to sample his beers quite frequently, and so he's deciding, he wanted to open a brewery, and my friend and I had talked about how, we really want to be part of a brewery, and so we mentioned that to him, and so I met him. So we actually had a little get together at his house for to try a bunch of his beers for just friends that he knew, and so I talked to him then, and I came back a couple weeks later to talk to him about. I thought I was going to have the chance to maybe put some money down and become part of the brewery ownership. But understandable. I mean, it really didn't get that far. He ended up, he wanted to make sure that he had full control. So if I put in, 50% or 25%, then he wouldn't have that control as much. So he ended up just with Hina's brother-in-law at the time, opening the brewery. He said, "Well, if you give me this and this much money, you can do this and this." But I kind of wanted to put in, a fair amount to become part owner, but never really ended up that way. No big deal. The beers that
he'll be making saisons nonstop.
So the beers that he makes, they're great. Everything that he makes, I feel is great. He has, he's become, he's just a one-man guy initially with I think it was like a 1-barrel or 2-barrel system or something like that, and then. I still have a bunch of those initial saisons, which were all with Brett. And so now they're making, they got 2 locations and, fantastic IPAs. And I still think that the milk stout with coffee, which finally comes out again right now, is one of the best milk stouts that I've ever had. So
nice. Yeah. I mean, we get it distributed down here, and it's fucking good beer. We don't get a ton of their stuff, but so in relation, I don't know, obviously there's a ton of breweries in that area. When they first came up, what was around there? They had Bissell Brothers? Did they have Foundation, Allagash?
Yeah, so Allagash was obviously there. They had Foundation was there, And Bissell Brothers was still there when they first opened up. Yeah, they were still there. And then then Austin Street was just like in this little where they are now. They were just one of those bays, and the tasting room you could really fit 5 people in there. It was so small. So now they have the other new place down over by where Rising Tide is in Bayside, which is it's this huge building, which is nice, very nice.
That little building though is insane because Battery Steel, Bissell Brothers, Foundation, they all were in there in Austin Street. We're all in that one little building, and then right down the road it was where Allagash is. The reason I only know about this was when I first got into craft beer. One of my customers is literally a 30-second drive from there. So years ago, I was like, I'm gonna go try that place, Bissell Brothers. And that's how I found them. But that building there has housed some really good breweries in that tiny. I mean, if you guys all know, but people have never seen it before. It is a tiny little metal freaking warehouse with bays. Is basically what it is.
Yeah.
The pizza place was there to main the food truck. They had a bay there at one point too. I mean, a ton of really good places in Maine, food and beer, have been in that one little building, which is
Maine Beer was the original place in that.
Yes,
yeah.
they were.
Wow.
Yeah, and so, but then it was initially it was they had a car, a couple of car repair places in there. They had a cleaning place. They had a casket company in there, and so so there's a bunch of things. And then the guy, and when they first started the breweries, they're like, we want to have this be like all breweries, and they pretty much have done that at this point. There's a couple little food.
Yeah, I'll take a double IPA, and I need a new muffler, please. Okay,
that's right, and a casket when I die. So
yeah, if I drink too much, just throw me in one of these caskets. Full service.
Yeah,
Des, you must have been so excited when that started building up over there.
It was great because it was obviously there are people who would go, but it's not like it is now. And I you literally just go between Foundation, Austin Street, and Bissell, and then you'd hub over to Allagash, and you'd have an entire day of fun, of drinking beer, and then getting stuff to go home, and you don't have to drive. I mean, of course you have to drive home, but 5 minutes.
Figure that out later.
Please.
Yeah.
Take an Uber.
Yeah.
So back to the show. This weekend, Justin was given the opportunity to drink a gallon of milk in an hour, and he ended up doing it. Did you guys all see? I know I saw him was watching it. So
I
drinking
was
about
disgusted. I didn't know what the hell was coming out of his mouth, but
see, I knew this was happening because our old pal Jay Mayhem was prepping for it. I thought he was gonna do it, but he might be doing it another month. But Justin totally redeemed himself with this. I fucking loved it, man. What great content! And then Kirk to tweet it out today or retweet it, the Warden of the North video, fucking unbelievable. and then
that's
the blood
right. Yeah, I didn't see
I loved it.
Yeah, so if you watch to the end, it does look like there's a little bit of blood coming up, which is a little concerning. But it also just makes it that much more enjoyable.
But the reactions of Tim and Madawaska Rob when the blood came out, and he's just like, "That's blood."
There wasn't pizza sauce.
Dude, I mean, he was eating Doritos. So
no, he said he was not eating Doritos.
Well, he had the bag there. I don't believe it.
Yeah, these are
that was
healthy.
That was tough to watch, but it was you couldn't turn away.
Yeah, I was watching it live, and I was just about to retch. I mean, I can't watch people throw up, and I was so close. I had to turn away. But it was.
Dude, and then he tossed it down the sink, and the sink was all clogged up.
Yeah, it's always a mistake. Never go into the sink. I don't. Yeah,
I'm with that. Anytime I see someone throw up, it automatically hits my gag reflex, and then I want to throw up. I can't. It drives me insane.
So normally for me too, but it was just it almost looked so cartoonish that it didn't bother me because that's just not how someone throws up.
It was so projectile.
Yeah,
I know. It's like a fucking fire hose coming out of there. I was like,
yeah.
I didn't want to study it, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it looked like he had a hose by his mouth, and it was just like shooting out.
So
Yeah,
I love
it was
Justin.
great.
Justin wants to try, and he wants to do he's perfect for the position he has. Like he really wants to fit in, but he really can't. So he does stupid shit. Or when you call him, he's cleaning his basement or sleeping. Like he's like the perfect I don't know. I love Justin. Like I love when
Kim, you realize that Justin is pretty much Blind Mike, but an intern.
but he's not on the thing is he's not a full time on the podcast. He's like it's like Stern John. Like I'm a Stern guy. Like there's certain things that like you fit those pegs into the holes. Blind Mike was not an on-air talent. As much as he wants to be, he's not. Blind Mike would do phenomenal in a Justin role where he's getting beat up on or being a stuttering John. But Mike thinks he's better than that. Like he thinks has more talent than he does, which is fine. Like I'm all for people wanting to succeed and do better than they are. But Mike needs to understand his role in podcasting or in radio, and it's not on-air talent. It's being the fucking clown that we all laugh at. And he couldn't handle that. I mean, he literally could not handle that to the point where, he had some depression about it. And I feel bad for that. I'm not hating him on that. Like that's awful. But if you can't handle the role that you're kind of made to be, then maybe this isn't for you. And I know he's doing his Patreon thing, and I'm with Jeff. I listened to the first free one, and then I've heard from other people that are stupid enough to actually pay for it. Some of them on the on this StreamYard right now, I think.
I'm at the $500 level. I have to admit it. Yeah.
I
love it. I love
right off. So yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
I'll give Mike money before I give Carano money, though. I will say that. So if you put a gun to my head and said, "Who are you going to give money to for their Patreon, Carano or Blind Mike?" I give it to Blind Mike. But that's probably because he's blind, though, not because of anything else. And I hate Carano.
Wow, great.
Floor is yours.
I was gonna say, so let's get back to some beer again. Go back and forth. I like this format. Have you guys
I have
had
a
any?
couple things that you.
Oh, go,
want
Jay.
me to,
Jay,
so-
start it off.
No, we had a couple topics since
Yeah,
our
go ahead.
last illustrious live broadcasts. We talked about or tape, live to tape. So the change of beer distributorship in Massachusetts is a big thing, where the craft brewers aren't locked into a long-term contract. So I think most people felt that was a huge thing for Massachusetts brewers.
Breweries can ship to more places now too. Like that was a huge thing. You couldn't ship beer for some reason. Now that's starting to open up. One
Yeah.
of the weird things is Pennsylvania. You can ship. You can per brewery. You can only have 96 ounces of one brand. So let's say it's Maine Beer Company. You can only get sent lunch 96 ounce worth per year, and that's it. And after that, you have to try another beer. I don't know how anyone's regulating this. It's the biggest, stupidest, big government shit I've ever heard of in my life. Like limiting people to 12 beers, but yeah, I mean they're trying to open it up a little more because of COVID, which I guess is one of the better things that has happened. But it still sucks.
Yeah, and then I know Shank was extremely disappointed that Gloucester Brewing shut down. That was one of the other things we talked about.
A lot of places are closing.
yeah. I mean, their beer sucked, but it seemed like a good local place for people in that area. So and you hate to see anyone losing their job, especially right now. But my experience with their beer is it wasn't very good, but it was a nice thing for that area.
And Cameo, you just went to a physical place recently, right? Which one was that?
If you're talking about New York, I went to this place in New York called
No.
Morehouse
It was
What is it?
Taunton or somewhere. You had a couple pizzas
Oh, yeah,
there. and-
Berkeley. Yeah. Berkeley
Yeah.
Beer Company.
How was that
in
experience?
It was awesome. They had inside, they had outside. They were doing sanitizing as you walked in. They were checking temperatures. They had a good 10 beers on tap. takeaway. They had good pizza. It was great. I loved it. It felt safe, and not that I don't care, but I'm not like crazy about that stuff. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it felt really safe. Then and it wasn't packed, but yeah, I would go there. I'm gonna go there a lot more. Buddy, it's only like 15 minutes from my house, so
Cool.
I like that place. Yeah, right near the mall.
What's going to happen to that bus driver that was picking nobody up at the mall?
That poor guy lost his job. So what else you guys got? Any thoughts? Desk, you were up. I mean, it's already going to be done, and the Bucks are going to be moving on to the Super Bowl. But what are you feeling right now?
The Bucks haven't been in the playoffs for years, so it's almost better when your team's not in the playoffs. There's nothing to worry about. I'm glad the game's at 3:00 because if it was later, I wouldn't be able to sleep the entire night afterwards, no matter what happened. So I don't know.
Two very likable quarterbacks.
I'm excited about the game. They beat Green Bay before, but that was another game, and every game's different. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully,
Antonio Brown is out.
Yeah, I actually worry more about if Antoine Winfield is out rather than Antonio Brown, because I think we can make up for him.
Cool. Oh, yeah, ton of weapons.
There's the football talk.
Football talk, beer talk.
Do we know anything about Mahomes' his status?
Oh, he's playing.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd really love to see the Bills upset them. That's what I'm looking for.
100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be so perfect for the Bills to get to the Super Bowl and then still have to go through Brady just to lose again. 20 years of being second fiddle to him.
Oh, that'd be great.
They finally get there, and he still crushes them.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Brady's going to throw 2 pick six today. They're going to lose.
Here we go.
See him on Discord in an hour and a half.
Here we go.
If Brady wins today, I'm going to fucking melt down. Fuck that baby. He's such a baby. I fucking hate him.
So let's go live around 7:00 tonight. after Brady wins, I need that meltdown.
I will melt down. I fucking hate. He was grounding balls like a little bitch last year. Like I just can't stand him.
We didn't hear that earlier.
Tonight.
Shank, do you have a TV at work?
Yeah. I'm gonna throw it on. So
Nice.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys, it's been fun. We're gonna do it again.
You know Shank's schedule now. What the fuck? You stalking him? What's going
I
on?
knew. Yeah, we talk a lot, and
I mentioned it.
He picks out my daily wardrobe.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Hey, you got to do better. Do better, man. All right, guys. Cheers from KMS Brews. Let's do it again soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Don't be a stranger.